All right, well, welcome everybody. My name is Aimée Darling, and I am your Jewel Upline. I'm super excited to be chatting with you tonight. It is our Frenzy Focus on Monday, so happy new week. We had an awesome week last week. We had so many new team members, so many new customers, so many of you stepping out of your comfort zone, using the power of your story to help change someone's life. I'm so over the moon about this last week. So I know this week's gonna be even better. Tonight's subject for our focus is we're gonna be talking about how to increase your network. And so let me just take a minute. And if you're new to network marketing, there's always these different words that we say. So part of what you wanna think about when you're brand new, you can get the sheet I'm gonna show you on our team page in the file. You can also get it in your virtual office. And so when you're brand new, I want to encourage you to get out a 64 list. Now I had a whole bunch of them. I went over to Staples. I had them put on a little spiral bound. So I spiral bound those and my IPA sheet. Both of these sheets can be found on our team page called the Pink Frenzy, and the 64 contact list is really important. If you look, we always ask you to do the same thing, whether you have the sheet or not. 20 people that need the product, 20 people that need the business, 20 people that would rock the business. So somebody that you know, maybe they already own another business, they're super business minded, and 4 people that would give you an opportunity that you would have influence with. So those are the kind of people who are like your mom, your cousin, you know, your brother, your aunt. Those are the people that really want to run with you. And so that's where I tell everybody, start there. When we talk about a network is basically the people you know. And I will say this, you know, and every person you meet knows 500 people. It's like 487, okay? So it's almost 500 people. Now, the other thing I'm gonna pop up on our team page called the Pink Frenzy is a sheet called, that will help you. It's a mind jogger, and it'll help you add to the 64 list of the people you want to contact about your business and your product. And so that jogger will remind you, your hairdresser, your dry cleaner, the person you bank with all the time, okay? All of those. But those are what are called your warm market. Now, you'll never run out of a warm market, you guys, because every day you meet new people, whether that's at Jamba Juice, like Katie was talking about, or the other day I was talking to my husband about a man that I met at Costco. That is your warm market. The moment you listen to people, talk to people, start building a relationship, they go into your warm market. On the 64 list they go, and that's what you want to be always adding to that, okay? So you're never going to be out of a warm market. But let's take this to a new level. You've put every person on your Christmas list on there. You put every person on there. So how do you increase your warm market? Well, you want to, in the course of your days, always be listening. Now, I always am listening for clues. Is he tired? Is she tired? Are they running around after children? Are they talking about wanting a vacation but not having enough money? Are they getting out of their chair walking a little crickety? Those are clues that you have a product that you are learning about. You're listening to other stories, and you can be adding those people to your warm market. Now, depending upon where your level of bold is right now, you might start to talk to them immediately, or you might just have a conversation, or maybe they are in your life. Maybe they're a daycare parent, just like you are, and you're gonna add them to your list. You're gonna work on building a relationship with them. Those are some of the ways you can increase your warm market, is by always listening to all the people around you. Remember that you're going to have layers. They may not be somebody that you say that minute, hey, it was great being at work with you today. You should buy Plexus. Okay, you're going to have layers. You're going to be increasing your relationship, and you're going to be building that. Now, last week I mentioned a word that some of you thought, wow, what is that? Branding. So think about branding like this. Branding is the fancy word, but really what it means is if you think about you and what are your interests, your loves, your different things, then they are going to know from the time they become friends with you on Facebook or they're talking with you, you have a brand. It's your look, it's your interests, it's what you're doing. So as you meet these different people that you're gonna be out and about and you meet, because you're gonna be purposely noticing, so you're no longer gonna be just sitting on a phone in line at Target, you're actually gonna look around. And sometimes you actually make a connection with someone. Not all the time. You're not fishing, but you are making a connection. And by you having a conversation with them, they can feel your brand, okay? Now, I will tell you what a brand is not. You are standing there and you're drinking the biggest, largest, frothiest, like huge Starbucks with 8 pounds of cream on top. And you're gonna turn and say to somebody, I work for a health and wellness company. No, that brand does not commute, okay? So does this mean you are where you wanna be in your health journey yet? No. Does it mean you're where you wanna be financially with your business journey yet? No, but you're building your truths and your brand, okay? Your branding is what will bring referrals to you so that when you go to the gym or when you're at the ball game for your child, you're at a soccer game, as you're talking about things and you're talking about your journey, they're gonna say, hey, I've got a cousin with fibromyalgia. Hey, I've got a coworker that could use an extra income. Your brand is what will then attract you to open up more of your warm market, okay? So let's talk about some ways really quick that you wanna not forget that you can continue to network. What about your spouse? Who does your spouse work with? Who is your spouse friends with? Once in a while, tag them on a Facebook post that talks about your family or your branding. Now, if you're a woman, you probably have a spouse that may or may not spend much time on Facebook, and we're never gonna get into their list unless we tag them on purpose, okay? So don't be afraid to involve your spouse. Now, for Dennis, because he is not on Facebook a lot, he will have to be reminded how to tag me so that I actually look like I have a spouse. Okay, so it depends on what your relationship with Facebook is, but your spouse is a huge ability to, or has the ability to increase you another 500 leads, okay? Now, another quick way, volunteering. Do you volunteer already? Aren't you building relationships with those people? You have a common interest? Just cause. Plexus attracts people that love to give back. Plexus attracts people that want to be part of a mission. And so if you think about that, think about your children, where do they volunteer, you, that kind of stuff. Look at your job. I will say that if you have a job now, that is awesome. A lot of your original leads are going to come from your job. And I want you to think about this. If you said to somebody, maybe they've heard all about Slim and they've heard about the triplex and you're not really sure and they aren't super interested, my stance is often the one of wanting my network to grow. So I would say, Susan, I know you told me you're not interested in Plexus. However, I'm sure you know somebody that could really benefit by better natural energy. You probably know somebody that could benefit by improving their health. You probably know somebody who could benefit by improving their finances. It gives you an opportunity to practice with that uninterested person, and they will have 500 people that they know that they could build a relationship with you and maybe even introduce you. Now, if they're kind of chatty and they're fun, but they're not interested, I really love them because they always want to help. And they want to introduce you to their friends and they want to get you in front of their coworkers. I have done little 10-minute triplex explanations at boardroom tables multiple times because somebody got me in the office and I told the 3 people that are all complaining and drinking all their energy drinks, and the one person I met, they brought me there, okay? So don't forget about that. Were you part of anything? A sorority, a fraternity, an alumni association? That's another group to tap into. Now remember, if you haven't spoken to people in a while, it's important when you're growing your network that you don't just jump on and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in 20 years. You want to buy Plexus? You gotta spend a second and say, what have you been up to? Okay, so remembering that social media means that you need to be social, and what'll happen is that you'll end up seeing people that you also went to school with. So, case in point, briefly the other day, I had commented about somebody's 80s purple and blue eyeshadow from when we were all in high school. And that was months ago. All of a sudden, out of the blue, a woman that was in our class laughed and she LOL'd under my comment. And I thought, well, there's Cindy White. I wonder where she's been for the last 30 years since I got out of high school. And sure enough, I clicked on her name. She had sent me a friend request and I hadn't realized it. So I accepted it and sent her a message. Hey, how have you been? Immediately she messaged back. It went back and forth. She's a stay-at-home mom. She's exhausted. She lives near Washington or Wyoming, but that is because I was social on social media. I'm not commenting on everything, but those ones that don't ever want to play your Plexus game, make sure you comment on their stuff because then their friends see you and they end up commenting back, okay? If you want to wander into Instagram, comment or tell me privately, we can start talking about Instagram. Instagram is a cornucopia of millions of additional leads. You can either look at working with that cold messaging, you can build personal relationships with it, you can use hashtags for common interests. They have a brand, that's their interests. You have a brand, that's your interests. So Instagram, Pinterest, if you're on any of those places, start looking at ways you can build genuine relationships because it opens up them and 500 more people, okay? So I have dropped into our frenzy group. I made pop back up a whole list of top tips from Jules that are worth a quick second. If you're kind of thinking, who else do I know? How else can I meet more people? Go ahead and look at those. They've given us tips that I previously had posted. So that's back up to the top of the feed. And if you're really starting to get geeky and you want to read more about being an entrepreneur and more about networking, then go ahead and look at the next one I popped back up, which has about 12 different brief articles. Now, here's what I would say. Networking is fun. Getting to know people is fun. Their story is fun. Learning how people need help and giving them the extra money in their budget. There's nothing more thrilling. I was listening to Yash talk about her new gal that's starting tonight. There is nothing better than hearing the stories. You don't need all the information to continue to build your network. What you need is a listening ear and the ability to say, wow, if I have a product that would help with that, would you be interested in learning more? And that's all you're doing, okay? So super simple. I would encourage you, but I would also challenge you to go ahead and start practicing 1 person a day, 3 people a day, 5 people a day, however many you want to reach out to continue to open up your network, okay? Adding friends, talking to more people. And lastly, if you're that person that thinks, I could never do that. I don't want to talk to anybody. Okay. All right. Slow down. Start smiling at people. Start making eye contact. Start doing something, because the beginning of your journey to get to a point where you feel super comfortable doing every aspect of this business starts at step 1. It's a simple greeting. It's a genuine eye contact. It's chatting about something you're both interested in. It's building a relationship, okay? And your network will continue to grow and grow and grow and grow, okay? So I'm gonna hit stop on the record. I'm gonna open us up and then I'll answer any questions that you might have.